When considering the brand value of Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus for Bangladesh, we embark on a journey far beyond commercial branding or market valuation. In the world of global development, social entrepreneurship, and national identity, brand value becomes a tapestry woven from reputation, moral authority, innovation, and transformative impact. It is not a currency measured in dollars or market shares, but in trust, recognition, and the ability to shape perception and catalyze change. Through the lens of Yunus's extraordinary life and current leadership, we can trace the contours of this intangible asset and understand how it continues to benefit Bangladesh on multiple fronts. At its core, brand value for a public figure like Professor Yunus is a synthesis of global reputation, association with positive values, influence on key sectors, and the enhancement of national identity. For decades, Yunus has stood as a beacon of social justice, poverty alleviation, and entrepreneurial innovation. His journey began with the founding of Grameen Bank, a bold experiment in microcredit which would transform not only Bangladesh, but the very landscape of development economics. The ripple effect of his ideas, first in microfinance, later in the concept of social business, has been felt in countless communities across the world and continues to shape the way governments, institutions, and individuals approach poverty and opportunity. International recognition is perhaps the most visible pillar of Yunus's brand value. In 2006, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, one of the world's most prestigious honors, in acknowledgement of his efforts to create economic and social development from below. The impact of this achievement cannot be understated. Instantly, Bangladesh was thrust into global conversations, not as a recipient of aid, but as the home of transformative ideas and leadership. Yunus's subsequent accolades, the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2009 and the Congressional Gold Medal in 2010, place him among only 7 individuals to hold all 3 top U.S. civilian awards, a testament to his broad international esteem and the positive associations tied to his name and country. But Yunus's brand value is not merely symbolic or ceremonial. His innovations have had profound, measurable impact. Grameen Bank's microcredit model empowered millions of Bangladeshis, especially women, by granting them access to small loans and financial services previously out of reach. This model has since been replicated in countries from India to Nigeria, bringing hope and opportunity to marginalized populations worldwide. The success of microfinance has elevated Bangladesh's reputation as the birthplace of practical, scalable solutions to poverty. And Yunus's philosophy of social business, companies designed to solve societal problems rather than maximize profit, has inspired a new generation of entrepreneurs, investors, and policymakers. On the national stage, Yunus's influence is both broad and deep. He is widely embraced as the banker to the poor, a figure whose integrity and compassion symbolize hope for the disadvantaged. His appointment in August 2024 as chief advisor to Bangladesh's interim government, amid political unrest and uncertainty, further cemented his image as a trusted and unifying leader. Under his stewardship, the country has witnessed signs of economic stabilization. Inflation, which had soared to 12% in July 2024, dropped to 9% by May 2025. GDP growth reached 3.9% during the 2024-25 fiscal year. These statistics, though hard-won amid considerable challenges, reflect Yunus's ability to inspire confidence and steer the nation toward recovery. His leadership, however, has not been without obstacles. Political opposition and legal challenges have surfaced, raising questions about governance, transparency, and the durability of economic reforms. Even so, Yunus's moral authority, built over decades of principled action, has enabled him to weather these storms, maintaining the trust of ordinary Bangladeshis and the international community. Here, we see the true strength of personal brand value, the ability to unite, to reassure, and to navigate complexity with vision and integrity. Yunus's reputation has also opened doors for Bangladesh internationally. The European Investment Bank, for example, has recently signaled plans to double its funding to the country, targeting infrastructure and development projects. This willingness to invest is closely tied to perceptions of Bangladesh as a responsible, forward-thinking nation, an image shaped in no small part by Yunus's association with ethical leadership and social progress. His endorsement has helped reframe sectors such as the ready-made garment industry, which is often scrutinized for labor practices, as increasingly sustainable and socially conscious. International donors, investors, and development partners see in Yunus not only a symbol of positive change, but a guarantor of Bangladesh's commitment to inclusive growth. Education and knowledge transfer represent another important facet of Yunus's brand value. The launch of Grameen University in March 2025, approved by the government under his guidance, marks a new chapter in the country's investment in social business and entrepreneurship. This institution aims to nurture future leaders, researchers, and innovators, amplifying Yunus's influence far beyond banking or finance. Numerous university centers and the Yunus Center in Dhaka extend his reach even further, fostering dialogue and collaboration among scholars, practitioners, and policymakers around the world. In addition to the broad societal impact, Yunus's brand value translates into tangible economic benefits for Bangladesh. The microcredit revolution, while not a panacea, contributed to rising incomes at the grassroots level, greater financial inclusion, and the empowerment of women. His global stature attracts philanthropic investment and technical expertise, while also enhancing the country's potential to host international conferences, events, and collaborations. Bangladesh's national tourism, for instance, benefits from the country's association with peace, innovation, and ethical development, a narrative Yunus has helped craft and broadcast to the world. Sectorally, his ethos acts as a catalyst for positive rebranding. The ready-made garment sector, a cornerstone of the Bangladeshi economy, often faces scrutiny over working conditions and sustainability. Yunus's involvement and endorsement lend credibility to efforts aimed at improving labor standards, implementing fair practices, and promoting environmental stewardship. In this way, his personal brand helps reposition Bangladesh not as a low-cost producer, but as a leader in ethical manufacturing, a shift that can attract higher-value buyers, investors, and partners. The soft power generated by Yunus's brand is perhaps its most enduring legacy. As a Nobel laureate and global thought leader, he projects Bangladesh's potential for leadership in inclusive development and social innovation. His life's work, rooted in compassion, integrity, and a relentless pursuit of justice, enhances the country's national identity and fosters pride among its citizens. In times of political turmoil or economic uncertainty, his name is invoked as a symbol of hope and continuity, a reminder of Bangladesh's capacity to overcome adversity and chart a course toward a brighter future. Yet, the complexities of Yunus's leadership are also evident. The economy continues to grapple with rising inflation, declining private investment, and setbacks in key sectors such as manufacturing. The closure of numerous garment factories has led to significant unemployment, testing the resilience of Yunus's vision and the limits of personal brand value in addressing systemic challenges. These issues highlight the importance of translating moral authority and international goodwill into effective policies and sustainable growth. To better understand how personal brands like Yunus's are formally assessed, we can look to frameworks used in academia, philanthropy, and global development. Typically, such assessments consider recognition and awards, the frequency and prestige of honors, citations, and international appointments; impact metrics, the scale and scope of initiatives, measured in lives affected, policies influenced, and models replicated; media presence, the extent to which the individual shapes narratives in international media and public discourse; endorsement effect, the ability to attract investment, talent, and collaboration based on personal credibility; moral authority, perceived integrity, trustworthiness, and alignment with ethical values; sectoral influence, the capacity to drive innovation, set standards, and lead change in targeted industries. Applying these criteria to Professor Yunus, it becomes clear why his brand value is so consequential for Bangladesh. His Nobel Peace Prize, unique combination of U.S. civilian honors and global speaking presence amplify his visibility and soft power. His innovations in microfinance and social business have catalyzed entire ecosystems, while his leadership at home and abroad continues to inspire pride and unity. The endorsement effect is visible in increased international investment and partnership, and his moral authority anchors Bangladesh's image as a champion of ethical development. In summary, the brand value of Professor Dr. Mohammed Yunus for Bangladesh is an extraordinary asset, immeasurable in numeric terms, but profound in its symbolic power and tangible impact. His name and legacy position Bangladesh as a global leader in social entrepreneurship, ethical innovation, and moral leadership. This value, rooted in reputation, trust, and the ability to inspire, transcends markets and monetary calculation. It is a source of national pride, a catalyst for progress, and a beacon for those who believe that positive change begins with vision, integrity, and a commitment to the common good. As Bangladesh navigates its current challenges, the enduring brand value of Professor Yunus continues to offer hope, direction, and inspiration, not only for his country, but for the world. His example reminds us that the true worth of a personal brand lies not in what it can buy, but in what it can build: communities, opportunities, and a better future for all.